Hello, my name is Adriana and this is a NetGalley reading vlog. So in this vlog I read 3 books, Psyche and Eros, The Roads We Take, and Athena's Child. I think I was pleasantly surprised by most of these. Actually, I don't know. My feelings on these have kind of like drifted since I originally filmed this. For context, I am filming this intro clip on October 18th. The last book I read, I finished in like end of September. And the first book I think I read in like August. So it has been a minute. I've had some time to ruminate. Maybe at the end of the year, I think a good thing would be to go back and look at my vlogs and like see how I felt about the books at the time, and then like, do I have those same reactions? But I'm not gonna do that for this vlog. This is just me introducing the vlog. These are the books I'll be reading. I don't remember what else I do in this vlog, if I'm gonna be completely honest. It might just be reading updates. So enjoy, and here's past Adriana. Good morning. The first book of this NetGalley reading vlog I will be starting with is Psyche and Eros by Luna McNamara. This book actually came out in June. It is archiving next week, so I really need to get to it before it goes away. But I am assuming it is a retelling of Psyche and Eros. Eros and Psyche. I don't know. I don't really know anything about it besides that. So let's go. Hello, I made it to the third-ish mark of Psyche and Eros, and I'm enjoying it so far, but the author has chosen to make a lot of changes to like kind of the general mythology and story. Also, I'm sure you can hear it, but I have gotten sick, which is just horrible news for me. Like, who gets sick in the summer? I hate it. I hate being sick in the summer. Like, I'm already hot and uncomfortable, and now I'm sick, and like, it's the worst. Whatever. Pushing past that. The author has chosen to make a lot of changes to the myth and kind of interweaving Psyche and Eros' story with some kind of Trojan War stuff. So I'm very interested to see why she made this decision and how it's going to influence the story later. I'm not upset about it yet if she manages to do something cool and interesting with it. We'll see. Other than that, it is a Thursday. I went to work today because I was feeling mostly okay this morning, and I just felt worse and worse over the course of the day. I'm gonna take tomorrow off in the hopes that I can kind of get over this, because I have been kind of feeling some symptoms for like the last week, but I thought it was smoke inhalation from when we went camping last week because a wildfire blew our direction and a bunch of smoke came through. Now I am convinced that it's viral in nature, but I'm hoping I can get over it by tomorrow, because we're supposed to be going down to go visit some friends, and I'd really like to do that. And I took Monday off to go do that, so I'm hoping for the best. But I think the plan is to read some, to go to bed early, sleep as much as I possibly can to try to get over this. I have NyQuil, I have Sudafed, I have water, and a big old thing of Kleenex, and wish me luck. Hello, I am at the 66% mark of Psyche and Eros. I'm enjoying it. A lot of the changes that the author made are now starting to like make sense as to why they made said changes. I'm still, I guess, a little confused as to why we are doing this myth during the Trojan War, or I guess the lead up to the Trojan War. I don't really understand how that thematically comes into play yet, but we still have like a whole third of the book left, so it could all come together in the end. But at least for now, kind of just wish it weren't during the Trojan War, because I'm a known Trojan War hater. Other than that, I do like the changes that the author made to Eros and Aphrodite's relationship. I like the changes in the repercussion of Psyche not trusting Eros. So yeah, I mean, I think so far I like most of the changes, except for Trojan War, which happens. I am reading this really slowly, and I don't know if it's just because, like, I'm a little stressed out about, like, some stuff going on outside of, like, or mostly, like, with my work. So I don't know if that's kind of affecting my mood reading, or if I just haven't been picking up great books and I'm starting to get into, like, a reading slump. But I'm hoping I can finish this before I take my work trip at the end of this week, because it'd be nice to just start my work trip with a fresh book, even though I think I'm just going to be bringing my Kobo, because I don't want to bring, like, physical books with me. So I don't know. We'll see. I've had a long weekend and I'm stressing, but it's fine. We'll get through it. Hello! Last night I finished Psyche and Eros, which is great because it archived yesterday. So having now finished it, I will say I don't really think there was like a benefit to bringing in all these other like Greek mythology characters that weren't originally part of the Psyche and Eros story. It just kind of felt like that scene in Endgame where like they bring in all the rest of the Marvel universe just for lols, like just to like, hey look, these are people who are also in Marvel. So I did read the author's note, and she said specifically the reason she took Psyche's sisters out of the story is because she didn't like the way they were portrayed. But it's like, you're the author, you could portray them differently and like not do, I don't know, it didn't really seem to fit thematically to have all these other characters involved. So I mean, I'm probably gonna give it like a 3-star. It's fine. I mean, I haven't read a whole lot of Psyche and Eros retellings, so I don't have a whole lot to compare it to right now, but it's fine. So hopefully my next NetGalley arc is fantastic, because I might have to quit NetGalley because I feel like not very many of these have been great. I'm gonna have to look at, that would be interesting. I want to take a look at like how many NetGalley arcs I've actually enjoyed and given more than like 3 stars. But I mean, this one's fine. If you're interested in a Psyche and Eros retelling, it's not the worst thing I've ever read, but certainly not the best. I hope I can find a better one at some point, because it is kind of an interesting story. But yeah, I'll catch you for the next arc. Hello, the second part of this vlog will be, or the second book of this vlog will be The Roads We Take by Christy K. Lee. I don't remember anything about this book, even though I read the first line, like, not that long ago for my fall TBR. I think it's some sort of historical fiction based on the cover. I don't know. I will read and find out. Oh, I'm seeing on description when I have it open here, it's 1885. So yes, historical fiction. But I don't know what else. I'm gonna read, I'm gonna find out. It's gonna be great. It seems like it's a fairly short book. When I open it up on the NetGalley app, it's only like 266 pages. Although the print's kind of small. Those are big pages. But should be a good time. I will check in later. I just made it to part 2 of The Roads We Take, right? Yes, The Roads We Take. And so now I know what the book is about. So we start out with this young woman at a military camp who went to medical school in the 1880s, thoroughly impressive, but obviously dealing with a lot of misogyny and sexism. She had convinced her family to let her go to this military camp because a proposed fiancé for her was also there. Turns out this proposed fiancé is terrible, so she manages to get away from him after an attempted assault of the kind you could guess, and runs off with an Irishman who was also at the military camp. They're gonna go out west and to the frontier and go homestead with this man's sister and her fiance. So they go out, they start heading out west, and we're basically following, what's even her name? Clara. Clara's her name. Clara, as she discovers that this new guy that she is now married, still probably not the best. It is the 1880s. They're not just perfect men, just vibing out, and just kind of following her through how she's gonna do all this. She still wants to practice medicine. She's not sure if she wants to have a family. Her husband is a bit of a drunk.
things aren't looking great for our gal Clara, but it is pretty well written. I've really enjoyed it so far. My husband's family is from like the area of Canada that they like started out in, Saskatchewan. So that's been kind of fun to like read about that area, but now they're heading out west, which is like more directly north of where I live. So they should be getting into some territory that I've like been to and vacationed at before, but I imagine it's probably a little bit more difficult to be in than it is now. So I am looking forward to continuing on.
Hello, I just made it to part 3, just finished part 2, about to start part 3 of The Roads We Take. It is getting very good. It's kind of turning into, well, I mean, it's turned into a romance, kind of historical fiction, romance, slow burn, but it does include one of my least favorite tropes. And like, I don't want to spoil anything, so like, I will make the screen go black and white and have spoiler up if you care, but the spoiler it includes is pregnancy, which I hate the pregnancy trope. Like, I know it's like a staple of the historical fiction genre, but I just don't like it, and especially in the context it's being used here, I just don't really like it. Other than that, today my husband and I have just been like domestic goddesses. We are making beef bourguignon, and I made mayo today because we didn't have any mayonnaise. So I used an egg and oil and mustard and vinegar and salt and lemon juice and made my own mayonnaise, and it's delicious and not that hard. I've done like 8 loads of dishes and like 4 loads of laundry. So I would say it's been a pretty productive stay-at-home weekend. Like, we have to do these reset weekends every once in a while just because we're gone so many weekends that stuff just piles up. And we get so far behind that we just can't function in our house anymore. Generally, we operate at a pretty, like, probably a higher level of chaos and uncleanliness than most people are comfortable with, but like, it was getting beyond our comfort level, which is really bad. I am feeling pretty good about the productivity we've been able to maintain this weekend, as well as being able to get some of my reading done. Like I said, feeling good about that. He's currently playing video games. I think I'm gonna go work on some videos, and I will check back in when I finish this bad boy up. Okay, I just finished The Roads We Take, and it is wild. Like, the first 80% of this book is like very grounded historical fiction of a young woman trying to survive the Old West, the pioneer West, and also fight for her right to practice medicine. And then the last 20%, the ending, is like a freaking telenovela. Like, we have characters come out from left field. We have a trial. Like, what? What just happened? I was not prepared for this ending at all, but like, I'm kind of here for it. Like, what did I just read? Dude, this book just sent me into like the ending of this book does not match the tone of the rest of it, and I can't decide if that's a bad thing or not. Wild. Just wild. Like, I kind of want to give it like 4 stars. Like, even though it doesn't make any sense how this ended or like why it was ending this way. Like, part of me wants to pick up like the published book and see if it has like the same ending and the same lead up to the ending. Cause like, this feels like the ending of a totally different book. I guess if you're reading this book, just be prepared. But like, I kind of like it. I was not expecting it to go the way it did. Like, the actual like final ending, like where all of our characters end up, I kind of expected to be in the positioning
the book ends in, but how we got there in that last 20%, did not see coming. Did not see it at all. Crazy, wackadoo times. I finished the book. I don't know what to do with my life right now. Like that, I'm spiraling. This book has me spiraling. I think I'm just gonna roll into the next book because I don't even know what to do. Let's just roll into the next arc and just leave this book where it is because I just can't even deal right now. So the next arc I will be starting is Athena's Child. From some research I did today, I think this was originally like self-published on like Kindle Unlimited or whatever, and now has been picked up by a formal publisher. So I don't know if they've made any changes to the Kindle Unlimited version, but I will read it and let you know what my thoughts are as a Greek mythology connoisseur. As you could guess from the title, it is Greek mythology, Athena's Child. It is the story of Medusa based on an interpretation of Medusa's backstory from Ovid's Metamorphoses, where Athena as a goddess actually created the Gorgon of Medusa. Medusa started as like a regular human and got turned into the Gorgon by Athena for some things that were not her fault. I don't know. I'm always interested to see what people try to do with this story and what route they're going to take. Because Stone Blind was like just all in on Athena being terrible for this decision making and this choice. And like, I kind of respect that choice. And then the other Perseus and Medusa retelling I read was like more historical fiction-y, so they didn't really talk about Medusa being a Gorgon. So anyway, let's get into Athena's Child. Hello, I finished part 1 of Athena's Child. Part 1 basically covers like a little over a third of the book, and then there's like a part 2 that is the rest of the book. So we'll see if I do a second check-in or not, or if I'll just do a final check-in. But basically the first third covers kind of the whole Medusa backstory up until she turns into a Gorgon. This retelling has decided to go the route of Athena not believing that Medusa was assaulted and invited it upon herself, so is punishing her for desecrating the temple of Athena, which is, I guess, true to the source material, but I really would like to see one of these Medusa retellings do the take of, I guess, the Tumblr take from Greek mythology Tumblr, that Athena was, you know, protecting Medusa by making her this hideous monster and allowing her to turn people to stone, rather than it just being Athena is a bad feminist and doesn't believe women, just because we already have that story. So, I mean, I'm interested to see where the story goes from here, but so far it is the same story I've read time and time again. Which is not necessarily bad. It's pretty well written. I like the style of writing. It feels very formal and Greek mythology-y. And I think the character of Medusa herself seems to be fairly interesting so far. So I'm excited to keep following her as she figures out how to deal with this new curse that has been bestowed upon her, as well as her 2 sisters. Let's keep reading. See what happens. Good morning. I made it to about the 2/3 mark of Athena's Child, so I figured it was a pretty good time for a check-in. I guess also Perseus just took off on his voyage, so we are in the thick of it now. And like, it's good. The writing's well done. The author is obviously a good author. The author obviously knows what they're writing about, but there's just nothing different about it. Like, I've read so many Greek mythology retellings at this point. For it to really intrigue me, for it to really like grab my attention, I really need it to do something different with the source material rather than just a straight retelling. And this is pretty much just a beat for beat exact retelling. Not really fleshing out any of the characters, not really fleshing out any of why they made the decisions they're making. Like, it's fine. I'm gonna finish it because it's Greek mythology and I'm still like obsessed, but I don't know if I can really appreciate just a straight Greek mythology retelling anymore. I really needed to do something interesting with the story because I've read so many of these. I mean, there's still a third left of the book that it could do something really cool and novel and different, but just kind of based on the way things have been going, I don't think it's going to do that, but we'll see. It could always surprise me. I am open to being surprised. Good morning. I just finished Athena's Child and I am conflicted. I don't know how I feel. I don't know. The ending was a little different, but I don't know if there was enough development of Perseus as a character to really pull it off. The ending that the author was trying to go for. I think this book could have benefited from introducing Danae and Perseus a little earlier on, giving us some more time with Perseus as a character if the ending was going to hinge so much on his character. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I mean, it's good. It's a fun retelling. It's, you know, pretty accurate to the story, but I'm struggling a little bit. And with the character of Athena, I don't know how I feel. This is going to be an interesting review to write on NetGalley just because I am personally so conflicted. And this book is really trying to push itself like as a feminist retelling of this story. And I just don't know if I'm feeling the feminism. I don't know. Very interesting. I'm going to have to think on it and hopefully write a somewhat coherent review for NetGalley. I think I would recommend reading this book if you are a Greek mythology fan, mostly because I would love for other people to read this book and have a chat with them about it, because like I said, I just don't know how I feel at all about this retelling. That is the end of this NetGalley vlog, and next week I start my new job. So it's crazy times for me right now. But thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.